So here we are in 5 Churchill Place, floor 3. Looks fairly familiar, although our reception's here, but it's obviously a building site too. We're just going to give you a quick tour around with Jason Gill. So Jason, here we are on floor 3. This is not how I remembered it.
No.
What's going on right now?
So we're officially in demolition phase. So we're basically clearing the ground for the development. So we started the demolition last week. This week should see the conclusion of that demolition. So breaking down the desks, stripping off the floors, the ceilings, removing all of the office barriers. You see the offices there will be removed as well. Basically getting the office ready for the development.
So we're on track, because I heard a rumour
Yep.
that we'd kind of missed
Yeah,
the timing a little bit.
Yeah, we lost a couple of weeks. So having moved out, and it was important we got out and out of the way so that we could be ready to get on with it. But it definitely took 2 weeks longer than we expected to get the demolition moving. But that doesn't risk the timeline.
That doesn't, and that's
project.
not going to fit people kind of moving back in at the time they're expecting.
No.
Fantastic.
If there were any risk to the timeline, we'd let everybody know. I mean, there is always going to be a risk that timelines can move with projects like this. Not that it's something that I do every day, but from personal experience at home, things can move. But if anything were to change, I'd let everyone know.
Okay, should we walk this way? Show me what's next?
Yeah, let's do it.
So another thing that I've heard about, what I
Yep.
need to know more detail about, is activity-based working. Can you give me a bit more around that? What that
Yeah,
actually means?
it's absolutely as it suggests. So it's about providing a working environment that creates different types of working environments for different types of work activity. So there will not be any allocated desks as such. There'll be no allocated offices, but what there will be is different types of working environments for different types of work activity. And actually, the best way to get the most out of activity-based working is to use it, sort of that kind of environment. So not to sit in one place all day, but to actually, if you need quiet time, use the library. If you want to collaborate with a team, use one of the collaboration spaces around the office. If you need to sit at a desk, sit at a desk. The one thing we will do is we'll create neighbourhoods around the office, both here on the 3rd floor and also on the 2nd floor, where we'll group working groups together logically in neighbourhoods. So there will be some structure to that.
So it won't be that's not going to create mini fiefdoms again. We want people to collaborate and work
it's
together,
interesting.
virtual teams, all the kind of
Yeah,
things that you
exactly.
hear.
So I don't believe it will. And we're going to have to live in this and feel our way a little bit. But one of the things we've been doing, or we've already started, is with our change champions. We've got around 40 people from across the business that have volunteered to be part of the change management programme. And essentially what they've been doing for the last few weeks is between them kind of creating a new way of working to make the most of this type of environment. So one of the ways in which we'll kind of ensure that that doesn't happen is that there'll be kind of some clear ways of working that we'll all be kind of encouraged to embrace as we move into this new environment, because it's going to be a responsibility on all of us to make it work. And we're going to have to kind of do things in a slightly different way to make it work, because it is definitely a different way of working.
And hot desks is another hot topic as always. What exactly does that mean?
Yeah, we're trying to ban
space?
the term hot desking because it's an old school working principle. This is absolutely not hot desking. Hot desking is, as it suggests, it's open plan hot desk without really any kind of ability to kind of develop that activity-based working principle. So yeah, this is definitely not hot desking.
Okay. So here we are, Jason, in the Nerve Centre for Traveller
We
Care.
are
I know
in
this
the
very
Nerve
well.
Centre.
And the travel counsellors are doing serving customers as they always
Yep.
do.
They are.
We have had a few questions coming in around what does the future look like for the office and these guys in particular. In the mornings they're going to come in, how are they going to find a desk, all
Yep.
those sorts of questions.
Yep.
So can you kind of allay some of the fears?
Of course. So as I said earlier on, we're going to design the office around neighbourhoods. So we'll be grouping people up logically in neighbourhoods. We're going to have to do a bit of extra work within Traveller Care. So I'm working very closely with Richard Stabbins and his team, because obviously within the neighbourhood of Traveller Care, you've got neighbourhoods because obviously you've got teams of people working on specific groups of customers, or some people are dedicated exclusively to single customers. So we're going to have to think a bit carefully about how that's going to work. But so what we want to do is create an environment which still kind of embraces activity-based working, but knowing full well that within Traveller Care there is a need to kind of work specifically with specific groups of people. So it's a work in progress.
So they'll always get a seat with their friends, with their peers,
Yeah,
with the people they're working
and
with.
the key point here as well is, again, back to the design of this office, there will be more than enough space for everybody here. I've already stated the occupancy numbers, but we're not envisaging there will be any problem with you being able to find a desk. But within Traveller Care, and actually meetings and events as well, we're having to think a bit more carefully about how that neighbourhood concept is going to work.
So that was it. We just heard a very quick round robin with Jason about where the project's going right now. As you'll see along the bottom of the screen, there's a little bit of a site reminder there. Go there, you can find workshops, breakfast sessions, and you can also watch a video of how the office is going to look in the future. And we'll keep you updated as many times as we can until you move back in.